All right, now it's on.
Podcast episode 58.
58.
On Monday. Today's Monday, right?
Today is Mondays.
4:40 p.m. 4:40 p.m.
4:40. Aren't we supposed to do something at 4:40?
March 11th. What are you supposed to do at 4:40?
I don't know. That's what I ran in high school, was the 4:40.
You ran?
Uh-huh.
Something chasing you?
No. That was, track and field. 4:40. That was my thing.
Once a year? For like PE?
Yeah, kind of.
Because you didn't want to have to be the wheelbarrow guy?
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to be the wheelbarrow guy.
Or the sock hop?
The sock hop guy.
We'll read this little one.
Is that all we got?
No, I have.
Oh.
No, this is your Broken Arrow video.
Broken Arrow? What's the Broken Arrow mean?
Kitchen video.
The kitchen video. Oh, okay.
When that silo shit that fucking nuclear bomb out of it.
Yep.
Fucking busy day. Today.
Yeah, it's been busy. It went by pretty quick.
Yeah, fucking day's over with. Holy shit.
Yeah, it went by pretty quick today.
Blake Anderson says this guy knows so much about so much.
It's all just anecdotal though. I can't put a smartphone together, or I'm not Dave.
Or even use a smartphone.
I can't talk to, honestly, I don't use a smartphone for anything but dumb stuff.
Jeff writes me letters and mails them to me.
I can't talk to the space shuttle or nothing like that.
Broken Arrow, God's Fury Unleashed. Not many know God is a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, I always thought what would be awesome. Here's my idea about the Middle East. It would just be awesome. Have Steven Spielberg or somebody produce this.
Send some Christianity over there?
Yeah, just have this. Here's my thing. If we really control the weather, what they need to do is have a weather cloud just spinning and thunder and lightning, and then just have a holographic hand come out of the cloud and just touch the ground, and then we detonate a nuclear weapon, and then everybody will be like, oh shit, that was the hand of God.
Like the mummy coming out of the sandstorm.
Like the mummy coming out of the sandstorm.
HTF, did I miss this video? How the fuck did I miss this video? Thanks for posting this. No one cares about the blur. It was just Alexa scanning Skully.
Oh, was I blurry?
I don't know.
It's because I was talking about nuclear weapons. I'm not supposed to talk about nuclear weapons.
They lost a nuke in the swamps around Tybee Island, Georgia, and never found it. Still waiting for the damn thing to go off. I thought a Steven Seagal or a Steven Spielberg movie started that way, or
yeah, I think maybe it did. But there is
Israel got the bomb.
Yeah, there is a conspiracy that Israel actually got that bomb, and the loss off the coast, the loss of that bomb off the coast was just a cover up so that Israel could get their first bomb. They used that bomb to make the rest of their bombs.
And once they had them, it was fine for us to sell them to them, because they already had it.
Yeah, because the deal with that is it would still be radioactive, and we have the technology where we could just look.
Find it.
The only reason why we found, here's the thing, the only reason why we found the Titanic is because we were searching for 2 nuclear submarines that we lost. He was able to find those fucking nuclear submarines. You are talking about a coastal area that's not even within the total realm of the search area that he was using to look for those submarines and the Titanic. So I feel like if our government, if there really was one still off the coast, if there really was one, I think our government would have already found it. We would have sent Ballard down there with his fucking super ship and been like, hey, find this bomb before fucking some kid finds it and blows up fucking South Carolina.
How did we lose 2 submarines?
Implosion.
Were they ours?
Yeah, they were our submarines. It was
so when a submarine implodes, what's the debris field look like?
It depends.
If
one of the submarines,
or not?
one of the submarines lost power. And unfortunately, when a submarine loses power, it just keeps going down and down and down and down. And it gets to a crutch depth, and that crutch depth makes it implode. I think that was the shark fin, or I can't remember.
Can you pick it up in your hand at that point?
No. There's actually pretty big chunks of, because basically what happens is it just creates a hole in the submarine big enough to equalize the pressure, and then the fucking submarine just goes all the way to the bottom.
So atmosphere crushes them, or do they drown? Like what?
They drown.
You think it's pain? So it's
it sucks because chances are that some of those guys, chances are that some of those guys lived all the way to the bottom.
Mm.
Because the whole submarine doesn't just crush like an aluminum can. It's all compartmentalized. As soon as that submarine started going south, they would have compartmentalized the whole fucking thing. They would have shut every watertight hatch in that boat. So I think, I want to say one of them broke behind the conning tower and the other one broke in the torpedo room. So you would have had groups of dudes that would have survived it.
And there's no safety boat on those. There's no
no. I believe 90 feet. I believe 90 feet is the depth. They may have new technology, but I believe 90 feet is the depth that they can escape from a submarine.
Actually do lockout at?
Yeah, they do something with the conning tower, and they have these stupid, like, I don't know what you'd call them. They're not really... It's kind of like, have you ever seen those things that you can buy, I think at like Walmart or whatever, it's like a hood for a fire so you breathe the smoke. They have some crazy shit like that.
Have you seen the new mask?
For the guys to fucking punch
snorkeling's not a mask it's a snorkel anymore. It's like a fucking little helmet
unit, isn't it? Yeah.
What about the second one? What happened with that?
Same thing. I think it lost... fucking second one. No, I think the second...
It'd be cool to buy.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think the second one might have hit something.
It'd be cool to buy a submarine and put it out front.
Fuck, dude, I guarantee...
The problem's moving it.
I guarantee we could buy a Russian submarine.
They're all over fucking Portugal.
Yeah.
Fucking all over the place. The problem is the cost to get it here.
Yeah. Because the submarine that you're going to buy is not a submarine you want to...
I super want to...
You want to be in the ocean with.
I want a buggy, a Hearst, horse-drawn carriage, fucking Hearst, glass side windows. People send me photos of that shit. I'm like, where is it and how much? Oh, it's not for sale. Well, then why the fuck are you...
Yeah, don't send a photo of something...
If it's not for sale, don't send me pictures of it. It was Damascus, Arkansas, if I remember correctly, with the Titan II missiles. Is that the 1980 Titan III silo explosion you're talking about?
Yes.
Speaking of China and tech companies, did you hear about Google basically handing over all its secrets to China and accepting their censorship terms in order to take Google over there? Google says China was going to copy Google, so their hands were tied pretty much. So now we have China with all the secrets of AI and all the tech. I'm pretty sure they already had that shit. Google founded in order for Google not to be copied by the Chinese. To hear this is detailed, check out Joe Rogan podcast with Alex Jones returns crazy shit.
Okay, first off, it's a globalistic, it's a global, a globalist lie. That Google is lying. They are a globalist country, and their only concern is to be in control of control of that globe. They didn't have to give any of that technology to the Chinese, and if the Chinese copied anything that Google did, it wouldn't be nearly as good as Google. Wouldn't be nearly as good. Nothing that the Chinese copy is as good as the original. Nothing.
I don't know. I think that band phone fucking stomps that good.
I'll bet if you got it, you'd be like, this fucking thing takes great pictures, but it doesn't. I can't call anybody.
It's like the Chinese 1911. Yeah. It'd be fucking it'd be plastic instead of.
The Chinese are really good at copying stuff, but without the fucking initial. Here's the thing: communist countries suck. They fucking suck. There is no reason for people to be innovative in those countries. Why? Because you'll be like Mikhail Gorbachev. They'll make fucking 60 million AK-47s, and you'll die a poor man in old age. There's no reason to create. When they do create, it's almost a fucking fluke that they are creating anything that's worthwhile. The Chinese copy all of our shit, and it doesn't work as good. This is why I'm saying this. The Chinese have a program. They have a program that if you want to sell anything in China, you have to give them all the intellectual property. You have to give them. So when GM said, we want to make cars in China, China was like, that's fine. You can make all the cars you want in China, but you're giving us all the intellectual property rights to that automobile and automobile plant within China. So you have to give it all up. Why is that? Why do you think China wants companies to do that? They want companies to do that because they can't come up with the shit themselves. They're doing They're doing some great things in China. Don't get me wrong. There's some fucking smart people in China. But when you're talking about innovation, they have to steal it from Western countries, period. They have to steal it. Because there's no you got no reason for innovation in a communist country.
They're going to import the Chevrolets.
Yeah.
It's just like a Chevrolet, but without the V.
Without the V. So Google did not need to do that, but Google has a globalist attitude, and they don't give two shits. The reality is Google does not give two shits about Western ideas. What Google wants to do is corner the market within the world. They want to expand around the world so everybody is getting it from Google. So, it's a shame that Google did that, because the difference between Google and China is China has a 1,000-year plan. They can wait Google out. All the fucking people in Google will be dead and gone when the fucking Chinese are running Google throughout the world. So it was a short-sighted globalist idea.
Plus, that's just the shit you hear about. You don't know who got the fucking payoff on that.
Yeah, so and maybe Google has something that's even better.
The only nuke test sites, there's 2 of them on the East Coast, are in Mississippi and can be walked to.
I didn't know that. You know what? That's interesting information. I did not know that any nuke tests were done outside of the Trinity area. Trinity, where the first A-bomb was, you can actually take a tour to, and they walk you right out to the crater, and you can.
So those towns they built, right, when they did chest all the blast weather shit. It was a trip. They built these little shopping centers and shit. Prada was in there. Louis Vuitton was in there. Like all the fucking
that would be a great picture.
For real. Yeah,
that'd be a great picture if you could see.
Yeah, that shit's all like that. They actually had that when the blast came through.
That would be a good picture to see that shit.
Mississippi, we go down there for Mardi Gras and voodoo and eat some alligator.
And Mississippi. Mississippi. I was going to say we could have a parade, but that's New Orleans.
Oh, never mind. I get the two confused. I actually thought New Orleans was there. I'm like, come on, we're going to go to Mississippi. Amanda's like, where are we going? I go, Mardi Gras. She's like, that's not Mississippi. I'm like, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
MISSISSIPPI.
They're close.
Outstanding videos as usual. Ask her when you go out there. Go.
How was New Orleans?
Where's John think Mardi Gras is? That silo is in Arkansas, just down the road from my mom and dad. Tony Kaiser, he's got lots of words here.
Oh God, lots of words, Tony.
Nice. I was working as an airport checkpoint security, and we had a bag come through the X-ray machine, and the bag had an object that was spherical in shape, with wires coming out in all directions. Now, is that what it is?
I think.
Now colors are important here. Bluish colors are generally metal. Orange is organic. Now I was on the bag check station, and the X-ray tech was looking at this bag and stopped the line. Now she looks at me with her eyes the size of quarters and asks me to come over and look at the screen. I do, and I see wires, electronics, organic material. We are both thinking a bomb. Oh. Now the checkpoint at this time has stopped for about 15 minutes. Supervisors come over, wonder what the fuck, and we point to the screen. His eyes get big as quarters. So now all 3 of us are looking at the screen and each other wonder what to do at this point. So they've got the line stopped for 15 minutes. You know, they didn't be like, hey, you guys, you wanna go ahead and...
You don't want to start a panic in the airport.
Wonder what to do at this point. So the supervisor calls over a law enforcement officer. He is looking at this, and we're just standing there wondering what the fuck to do. The LEO says, okay, let's see whose bag this is. He grabs the bag gingerly, holds it up, and asks, whose bag is this? A little white-haired old lady walks up and says it's hers, and then asks, what is it? And then we ask her what's inside the bag, and laugh out loud, she said, it was an old CPAP machine. And then the 4 of us simultaneously breathed a sigh of relief. Sorry for the long story, but I thought I would share a funny story. Yep.
That is funny.
So when Cody was little, it was like a magic 8-ball, right? But not the ones you shake and it gives you an answer. It was some little toy thing. And he's carrying it on the plane. He's going from here to his mom's house. He's carrying it on the plane. And the X-ray machine they can't X-ray this thing. Like, they can't see inside it. They don't know what it is. I'm like, it's a toy. You guys can just keep it. He's going to miss his plane. They're like, we need to know what this is. Finally, they never did determine what it was, but they let him take it with him. For all they knew, There could have been fucking an alien in there or something, but they're like, fuck it, let him go, and they just let him take it on the plane with them.
It's just like when it was everybody was jumping through their asses and they had that trash can where everybody was throwing their fucking
mags, knives.
They're throwing their stuff in that trash can. You know, your 10 ounces of shampoo and all the things that they said you couldn't have, and they were just throwing it right there at the line. If somebody wanted to make a bomb that could blow up inside an airport, at the most crowded place inside the airport, that trash can would be a perfect place to put it for two reasons. One, they've been throwing stuff in that trash can all day. They're not going to have any fucking clue who threw what in that trash can.
The bomb.
Two, it'll just blow up.
The bomb. Hey, this is where I get to shine. Laugh my ass off. Let me get a plate. The Pacs and Indians have always been on some bullshit. Let them do each other in, and we can clean it up from them, for them. Laugh out loud. It's all about religion. The Muslims want to kill and conquer. They don't have the resources to do it. Shithole countries.
Yeah, they don't have the resources to do it, but they're slowly getting the countries.
We're letting them in.
Yeah,
they can get the resources from us.
They can get the
because we just keep fucking bringing them.
They're slowly taking over countries in Europe.
I'd like to know. So like, we brought a bunch in, you know, right?
Uh-huh.
Are we still bringing them in?
I'd say no, because
he has
the actual ban has held. So he has a ban on those not Muslim countries, but conflict countries. So they can't come from conflict countries. So the number is definitely dwindling, while the number of Mexicans coming across the border is getting even bigger.
You know, Universal, what's the UTI, UBI, Universal Basic Income? We've been talking about. Spear Code just did a show on it. Fucking pretty good. He's got some really good ideas. He's like, this would totally work. Here's why we'll never fucking do it. But it's fucking good shit, you know. If you guys are interested, and we've had that conversation several times, go back and listen to the last couple episodes of the Survival Podcast. I did this weekend while I was doing shit. Keep up the podcast, frequent uploads, can't get enough.
Are we in the new? We're in the new batch.
This is the new batch.
New batch.
What? Jake Wagoner. Well, it was a slow Sunday at work, and I was all caught up on the podcast, so I finally pulled the thread on Pizzagate. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Oh, you've been busy. I'll bet you're watching it still. So disgusting. I thought I knew what was going on. I had no idea. Then I find out I work about a mile away from Whitmore Farm, where some believe to have the kill room, and they dispose of the bodies. What will it take to get justice? Awesome work on the podcast. Y'all people are great. Just ordered more made in the motherfucking USA. Badassery 143302. Thanks, dude. Thanks for
what it'll take is you have to keep electing more people that are not within the power structure. You just got to keep electing people who are not within the power structure.
And politicians are actors.
So yeah, I mean they are now. They are definitely actors now. When you think about what they're saying and how they're manipulating you through the media, they are just actors.
They're not even trying to hide it anymore. It's like it's like that movie They Live. You just got to get the glasses. So
you got to get the glasses to see who they are.
What up, guys? Been listening and watching to the podcast since day one. People have been asking your thoughts about Alex Jones and Joe's podcast, but here's a link to Alex going off on Eddie Bravo. Holy fuck, it's hilarious.
I will look that up because
we'll check that out.
I'll bet that will be funny.
Get Eddie Bravo to come on our podcast.
I'll bet that will be funny as shit.
I need Skully. It's brunette. I need Skully to explain, no matter where we end up, there is always Filipino hookers. Are they officially attached to the Marine Corps unit, or do they just get forwarded their pre-deployment schedule so they can get in place?
I have the answer to that question, okay?
The Navy brings them with them.
Yeah, I have the answer to that question. The answer to that question is they pre-deploy them. They actually deploy them anywhere that we're going. That's part of the negotiations. So when we used to go on Westpacks, all that information on where we were going would have to be secured by the local nationals prior to us getting there. Why? So, you know, obviously, so there could be fucking food and shit to put on the ship and shit like that. But to make sure hookers are there. And I'll tell you how I know this.
Is this true?
This is 100% true. I'll tell you how I know this. When I had some friends that were going to go on vacation, some civilian friends. They're going to go on vacation. I've told this story before, but they're going to go to Thailand. And they go to Thailand. They tell me they're going to Thailand. I tell them you can have a great time. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have so much fun. So they go to Thailand.
Not SEALs?
Not SEALs. Just civilians. Just two regular dudes. They're in Thailand. Just so happens that our ARG pulls in the same fucking time they are in Thailand. Pattaya Beach, I believe, is where we were at.
By the shit river.
Yeah, I'm walking down the street, and I hear these dudes calling my name, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh my god. You know, just amazing that we were there at the same time. It is a very small world. And I'm like, oh man, are you guys having fun? And this is straight from their mouths. They're like, man, we were having so much fun. Pattaya Beach it's off the chain. It was awesome until you guys got here. We didn't even know what awesome was. He goes, before you could even see the ship, he's like, we were just at this bar talking to these girls, and all these buses started showing up. Just buses. And all these girls are getting out of the buses and just walking down the street and taking their posts in all these different bars. He said there was probably 40 buses that showed up that day dropping off girls. He goes, we couldn't even comprehend how many girls they were dropping off. And we thought, in their head, they were like, maybe because of the weekend's coming, they're trying to prep for, like, something. And then we saw your fucking ship come around the corner into the bay. He's like, then that's when we knew.
It came out of the jungle. The jungle, it came alive.
That's when we knew. It was just because the fucking U.S. military was getting to land. It was getting ready to fucking take over Pattaya Beach.
But what he's talking about is how are there Filipino prostitutes in Africa when you pull into port in Africa?
Well, here's the thing that
how are they like everywhere? Like,
but here's the thing that most people don't know.
The Navy brings them.
The Navy doesn't bring them, but Filipinos, unfortunately or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, are one of the most exported commodities in the world. So they get exported all over the world to provide certain services.
It'd be great to have some admin Filipinos.
Yeah, it would actually. It would be great. I wish I could get
I'll bet I could read their writing.
I want to get a retired Navy chief, Filipino Navy chief, to come in here and run the kitchen. So chef will lose his mind.
Not run the kitchen, just like fucking organize, make a list. Like he'd know where everything is.
Oh man,
supply guy.
But yeah, so they're the most exported. That's why when you go to any of the Arab Emirate countries, all the hospitals are filled with Filipinos.
I didn't know that. I thought it was Indians.
They get their medical stuff from the Filipinos because you've got a lot of really smart Filipinos.
And is it you think it's ex-military Filipinos?
No. It's just regular civilians.
So there we go, Jason Burnett. Is that your preference, Filipino prostitutes?
I'll bet it is.
His wife watches this.
It's the reason why we will not. It's the reason all this hubbub about Venezuela will never happen. Because there's beautiful beaches and beautiful women down there. They will not let the U.S. Marine Corps go down there.
Is it true in Thailand, you'll be talking to a female, and she'll have a dick bigger than yours?
There are certain places that could be possibly
true. Lady boys, right?
Yeah.
But is there a place where it is not like on the list, like this is where you come find chicks with dicks? Like you're literally in there talking to a chick and she might have a dick?
No, you're not going to run into
a lady.
I mean, I'm speaking from at least 10 years in the no, it's probably been 15 years in the past. But from my time there in both Pattaya Beach and God, where was the other place we went?
So I watched this. I don't even know how the fuck it came up in my feed, and it said something about how to deal with the. I don't remember what he called them. It wasn't like he, she's, or transvestites or lady boys or anything like that. There's this dude, and I from the gist of it, I watched a couple of his videos. Seems like he lives in Thailand, and he's going to do some laundry, and this chick, fucking hot bitch, fucking big old boots, fucking Amazon fucking chick. And she's like, hey, I don't know what she said. Fucking, we can fuck for however much, whatever. He's like, no, thanks, no thanks, no thanks. And finally he's like, he called her something. I don't remember what he called her, like a scramp or something. Mm-hmm. And she sounds like a chick and everything. She's like, I can do everything they can do. And she just kept better. But he sped up, and she's in these fucking big ass boots on this cobblestone road, and she like, boom, fucking feet come out from under her, takes a fucking plows down into the ground. He's like, I'm going to do my laundry. I think he's got like an Australian accent or something, and he fucking like
that would be different. That would be different because.
But this bitch was like on him, like he didn't have no. If she'd have caught him,
I would
they'd
say
have been fucking.
I would say that would have been different. I would say that was different because he lives there. When we show up, like they
sequester all those.
I don't want to say that they sequester him, but it was like everybody knew there was a certain spot on the strip where they were like, you need to cross the street and go over to the other side. Those are all dudes.
Could you tell?
Oh man, I'm telling you, they got women that are.
I heard so because that's sex trade is the biggest commodity. Like
yeah,
if you were
sex trade is the
if you're
biggest
born a
commodity.
dude there and your family doesn't produce or make something,
yeah, sex trade is the
most of
biggest
those dudes
commodity.
Get sex changes.
Most of the girls
they get a little pussy put in. They got these little fucking fish caplets, so it smells like fucking pussy. I've heard some crazy shit.
Most.
I was in prison with, as a matter of fact, he was a dude from the UK or somewhere, and he spent a lot of time. He was telling us all about that shit.
Expats, yeah.
How did Skully set up his plate carrier for war?
With everything on it.
Eric from Sweden.
Basically, my doctrine for war.
Back in World War I, they didn't have Molly.
It was a little bit kind of like Molly. My thing is, I don't put anything on the front. So anything in the 180, I don't put anything on the front of my vest that is not for fighting. So I actually wore a war belt underneath my body armor
because growing protector.
I wore my. You had to.
For real?
Yeah, it was mandatory.
Smart ass.
Had to mandatory. So I had a war belt underneath.
Did you wear
everything on the front was for war? Everything up here was for war.
Did you wear a Russian fur hat?
No, they didn't give us any Russian fur hats. I did. Oh, well, I did wear not the fur hat, but the. You remember the old sleeping bags? I don't know if you ever got how they had the hat, but they had the hat inside there. I did wear that because it got cool. But I just put everything on the front of my rig is for war. There's not even any first aid. There's not a fucking tourniquet. There's nothing on the front of the rig that doesn't either explode or shoot a bullet, because all that other bullshit, no matter what anybody says, it's just in the fucking way of doing what you really need to do.
Any more ghost incident stories from SOE building or Tennessee in general?
Have you?
I haven't. No. No, you mentioned it. I haven't seen anything weird in a while. Have you ever seen anything weird?
Here? No, I don't think so.
You ever seen anything weird anywhere?
I will say this. Like,
you're not here by yourself, though.
The times that you leave. So, like, if I have to close up. So, it's only been twice this last year or so. But when I have to close up, once you get all those lights off,
the building makes some weird noises.
The building makes some weird noises. There's been a couple of times where I've been like, "Oh, John must be upstairs," and then he'll come out of the garage. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And you'll hear the pitter patter of little feet, but nothing serious.
So the snake room, right?
Snake room,
and the other office up there. Those doors, when they lock, those are locked. There's no way they're not rattling. There's no blowing up. These are all, every door in the building is solid core fucking 100-pound doors, and they have a lock and a deadbolt. Like when those doors are closed, those doors are fucking closed. That fucking door, dude. I was up there on live feed, and that door fucking opened, slammed closed. I'm like, what the fuck? So I finished the live feed. I'm looking around. Before I went home, I'd opened every door, turned all the lights on in the catwalks, fucking went through all the fucking closets in the garage. Like, I really thought one of you dudes was in here fucking with me, like Tyler or somebody.
I always think that too, in the sense of my when I'm closing up like that and I turn all the lights off, I'm always thinking in my head, like if people know that you're going to be gone, it's different if they don't know you're gone.
It's like I
always think, man, somebody could have just walked right upstairs and is just sitting in one of those chairs waiting for me to lock the door.
Right. See, I used to always think that too. Like you could go into Walmart when they close up. You could just go do, and they did. They had a dude living in Walmart for like fucking a year up in the catwalk. Mm-hmm. Like that's always the concern. But I mean, once you arm an alarm system, it'll fucking catch all that. Yeah. In podcast 53, you mentioned the Catholic Church said there was no hell. So does that mean there is no heaven?
I did not say that the Catholic Church said that. The Catholic Church still has the opinion. The Church still has the opinion that there is a hell. because they need it. The current Pope, who is a Jesuit, which, look up Jesuits, it's a little bit different than Christianity. The current Pope said there is no hell. And he may had to have walked that back, but he has come out in public and said, Donde re patre, there's no hell. So
how does fucking is a Jesuit the Pope? I thought they had to be Catholic.
Well, Jesuits are a form of Catholics.
So what's the layman's term of Jesuit?
Jesuits are kind of like the don't get mad if you're a Jesuit, but they're kind of like the ISIS of Catholics. The Jesuits.
So they're not the little white old man that's touching boys in fucking New York. They're
no.
Middle Eastern Catholics.
Well, no,
they're riding horses and have curved swords.
Most of your Jesuits are south. So most of your Jesuits are coming out of, like, I think the Pope was. I want to say the Pope was in Colombia.
If you go far enough, Egypt south.
Yeah, if you do go far, well, no, you would just come back around.
Go far enough, Canada south.
You just come back around, or you'd hit the wall, one of the two. But the Jesuits orders, they actually had what they called generals, and they were beholden to no one but the Pope. So the Jesuits would go, and they would go into places, and it was, they are beholden to no one but the Pope.
Like the Praetorian Guard.
Mm-hmm. Beholden to no one but the Pope.
Sometimes they kill the guard.
And they would just go into places and, create these Catholic worlds. They were so beholden that the church actually attacked. Like, the Pope was like, there was, I can't remember what year it was. It's like 15.
Isn't that kind of the Templar story?
Yeah, too? It's just like the Templars, the 1500s time period.
Use them, and then when they have more power, you got to fucking make them evil.
Where they were down in, I don't think it was Colombia, but it was down there somewhere in that area, and the Jesuits had set up these really big Catholic missions, but the missions were completely filled with the local inhabitants. And at the time, Spain wanted slaves, and they were using the local Indians as slaves. And so the Jesuits were like, fuck you, you can't touch these. These are, they're born-again Christians. Fuck you. And so the Pope was kind of like, I'm just going to look over here for a little bit. And Spain went through and killed all those guys so they could get their slaves.
The Jesuits had a saying that if you give me a child for 7 years and I'll show you the man. Saying that the first 7 years are when the child is most impressionable.
That's probably true, though.
Yeah,
that's probably true.
I think it was Jesuits. I just heard that recently. Skully, you said check out Jack's Industries Micro Galils. Skully, you should check out Jack's Industry Micro Galils. They're based on the South African Galils. The podcasts are great. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, the problem with the Jack's Industries is go ahead and check out their fucking website. They have not made one of those guns in 10 years. I mean, I actually went to it and tried to. I was going to buy one because I want the micro Galil. I have both of the regular Galils, the 321. I think it's 321 and the 322. And I just kind of want to round out my collection with a micro Galil. Jack's Industries never fucking has them. They built. I want to say they built 10, and then the website's just there so people can go, oh fuck, I'm not going to be able to buy a micro Galil.
Do you have all the Uzis?
The only Uzi, I just have the Uzi carbine. I don't have any of the micros and shit because I just thought that was kind of.
You have a mini and a micro.
Yeah, I thought that was just kind of a little too hokey.
Ken Schmidt, John, it's not your reading. I can't write for shit. Skully, Clarksville didn't have any good strip clubs. Dives, yes. Tennessee was actually more like bikinis, if I remember right. G-strings were too far. Korean girls were in there trying to get GIs to buy them champagne for $10. That was a lot of money back then. Kentucky had a topless club right over the border. A little further up in Kentucky, they had Bring Your Own Booze Club that was full nude. Hell, I was 19. I hung out there all the time. I hung out at all of them. Needless to say, I haven't been to a strip club in decades. I hardly drink at all anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to wander into a dark building anymore that says bring your own beer and there's fucking one broken car in the.
Says there might be chicks with dicks.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Those days are over for me.
John G says he just bought a new car today, 2019 Suburban. Hashtag don't be poor. Congratulations, man. So
yeah.
I looked at Escalades this weekend. A fully loaded new Escalade is $100,000, which is a Chevy Tahoe. It's a Chevy Suburban, you know, fucking with nice upgrades. I bought a
I looked at, since you said $100,000, I looked at a 10-year-old fucking G-Wagon.
Yeah.
It was $100,000.
That's the cheap one. So there's two versions of G-Wagon. There's the $250,000 G-Wagon, and there's the $150,000.
Every now and then when I look up G-Wagons, there is a company.
Do you really want a G-Wagon?
I want the military one. That's the only reason
Okay.
why I look at it. Every now and then I'll look at the G-Wagons, and there's a company, I want to say they're in Nashville. They have a fucking 6-wheel
Rockstar?
G-Wagon. I think so.
It's Rockstar Automotive, probably. They have two
And it's like, I think it's like $245,000. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Anytime you search Ferrari or Lamborghini, they come up. They have a lot of Range Rovers. They go to auctions and get all that shit. So I was searching Lamborghini, and this C36 AMG Mercedes comes up. Dude, they're fucking nice, man. Clean, sporty little car. It's kind of like their Panamera.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking nice. You can get into them about 30. Super, super clean. Like, lowered, blacked out, fucking tons of carbon fiber. You can get a 2-door or a 4-door.
I mean, even the Panamera,
Mm-hmm.
here in Tennessee, cannot wrap my head around it. The roads suck too bad, and I'm always driving on a gravel road to go somewhere.
Right. Like, you've seen, I've brought
I know.
I've brought my car to your house a few times.
know.
But like when we were in Kentucky, like every 15 minutes, either me or her would be like, holy fuck, we couldn't drive any of the cars here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even bring my fucking Range Rover up here.
It's just the roads around here for a car like that.
So I bought a Toyota 4Runner. I traded my Tacoma in for a 4Runner this weekend. They're building it. I won't get it for 3 weeks, so I can just beat the shit out of the Tacoma for 3 weeks. No, I'm not. But the Tacoma, the 4Runner, when I put the seats down in the 4Runner has more cargo space than the fucking truck had with the bed. It's fucking crazy. John Skully, I've been on a tear lately. Wait, I skipped some. Great job, men, on the podcast. Enjoy what you guys put out so far as content and product. Skully, any A10 stories from when you were downrange?
No, we didn't have any A10 support. I had F-18s. I had F-18s come in. I had Cobra gunships come in, and I had fucking Hueys from the Mew, which is the craziest shit on the fucking planet. But no A10s. We didn't get any A10s.
They still have Hueys.
Because it's the Marine Corps. It's the Marine Corps.
I thought they just keep them around for when they want to film the next Apocalypse Now.
No, man. The Marine Corps loves Hueys. I don't know why.
Does the Marine Corps not have any Blackhawks?
No, Marine Corps doesn't use any Blackhawks.
What?
I think, I may be wrong, but I think the reason why the Marine Corps still uses a Huey is because the Huey is still small enough to go into the ship, where I don't think you can break a Black Hawk down. Because if I remember right, when the Army went down to Haiti, so when the Army mobilized to go down to Haiti, and I may be wrong on this, but I think they had to actually commandeer. I think they actually had to commandeer an aircraft carrier to put the Blackhawks on the aircraft carrier. And I'm almost positive that they didn't even take them down into the hull. That they just strapped them on top of the flight deck. I may be wrong, but I don't think a Blackhawk can go into.
Does the weather ever get so bad that you can't keep aircraft on the flight deck?
No.
Like
well, here's the thing. This is the thing that most people may not know, is the Navy runs from weather. So if there's a weather front, the Navy like we'll pull out a port. If there's weather coming in early, we'll fucking get everybody on the ship and pull out a port early. Like we left Korea one time and left 45 dudes in Korea. They're like, there's a fucking typhoon coming, get on the ship, we're leaving, and they just left them there. So the Navy...
Do they get in trouble for missing movement?
No, because they technically weren't supposed to be back. So it was...
So how do they... Well, they just jump them on a...
No, but basically everybody shows up, and then you have a shore party there. I don't think those guys flew in. I think we went back to Korea and picked them up. But you have a shore party there, and then they just billeted them on the base in a fucking open base squad bay, and those guys were like, I think a couple of my guys were left behind, and they're like, man, it was the scariest shit on the fucking planet to be in the stupid thing with a storm coming.
I've been on a tear lately. In honor of Texas Independence Day that just passed, I decided to prop up the local economy in Camden because we owe the volunteer state our independence. Yeager has spoken about this before. Tennessee and Texas are sister states. Had it not been for the volunteers from Tennessee that fought at the Alamo, we may not have our state, our fine state. Over the past month, I bought an active shooter bag with organizer and pistol holster, and a rifle case with organizers, bags, rifle holster, and also stacked micro rig to keep inside the rifle case. Not sure if Yeager gets a kickback, but I bought the tactical response pistol from Midwest Industries to carry in the rifle case as my vehicle firearm for shit hit the fan. Love what you guys do. Thanks for the kick-ass gear. Cheers. Awesome, man.
Great. I mean, that is a great time in history. If you really want to read about some really cool shit, that is a great time in history, because you literally could be like John. So John's a, wealthy landowner up here in Tennessee. John could literally be like, all right, I'm going to be a colonel today. Let's get my ruffians. He'd have like 100 guys, and he would fucking march down to the border, and that would be his army that he would be in charge of. Davy Crockett and all those guys, when the Davy
Crockett shit close to here.
When he took those guys down there, it was just him deciding that he had a volunteer army, and people were willing to follow him to go down there. Nobody was under orders. Nobody had to go. Even Sam Houston, the reason why the Alamo fell, because Sam Houston wouldn't commit. But even Sam Houston, all his forces were volunteers. There was no U.S. regular forces at the Alamo. Everybody that was down there was a volunteer. So, just kind of an interesting time in history where you could just be like, all right, let's get the Roughnecks. We're going down there and we're going to shoot some muskets at people.
I was listening to a podcast a couple days ago when John was talking about you guys talking shit, wanting free stuff from SOE. And John's response was, we give free shit out all the time to people. They are our customers and people we want to have free shit. Well, I'm here to 100% confirm this is a true statement. A year or so ago, I placed an order for a multi-cam staff micro rig and posted the order number on the post. I woke up the next morning with a reply to my comment saying my order was going to be refunded and sent to me for free, and it was. So fuck the haters. We do a lot of that shit. Well, not a lot. I mean, we do that for theatrics, really. Truth be told, a lot of companies do the same thing we do. I just don't lie to you guys. I tell you why we do it, and here's why we do that. It builds a stronger relationship with the customer. It builds a stronger relationship with those watching it happen. And because when the algorithms are down and traffic is down on Facebook, especially in a live feed, when I say post your order number, when guys see me do that, they're fucking more apt to post it next time. There's an urgency to it because they might get something. And we do. A lot of times we do a lot of shit that you guys just don't fucking hear about. Like I do videos where I call guys and thank them for ordering and we do it on live feed. I do that a lot of times not on live feed also. It's just spending my time to say thank you to our customers. Without the customer, we wouldn't fucking be doing this. A lot of companies can do it. A lot of companies will kind of try to look like they're doing what we do or try to build a product similar to ours, but they miss out on the little shit. They only do the shit that has a direct return. They don't do the other shit. And that's why they don't fucking do what we do. That's why so many companies have gone out of business over the last few years. It's just, when we say thank you, we fucking mean thank you. You guys were talking about painted rams. Chicago has painted cows. Might even be the ones that started the trend. I guess it's supposed to be homage to Mr. O'Leary's cow. All different artists paint them, and they're on sidewalks, corners, etc. You can tell what neighborhood you're in by the cows. Wrigleyville cows are full of Cubs stuff. The Boys Town area cows are rainbow painted, maybe a gimp mask or a butt plug in its ass with empty poppers by its hooves. The bad neighborhoods are the craziest. The cows might be painted in gang colors or gang signs scribbled all over it. The gang neighborhoods that have real artists go as far as creating Cholo Vato cows that might have flowers or Mexican candles piled up around its hooves in remembrance of fallen homies. Other cows might have high points and gold chains, maybe riddled with bullet holes or 40s or blunts littered around. Anyhow, you get the idea. Hope this helped. Are you making this up? Really? I want to see. Send some pictures of the butt plug cow. That's the one I want to see. It's like at Chicano Park under the bridge in San Diego.
Chicano Park, man.
So Kentucky Derby. You know, Louisville has horses downtown. Really, really pretty one. Like fucking nice horses. I'm guessing they're like fiberglass or something. And then the place, like Jeff said, where we stayed in Overland, they had bears everywhere.
Bears everywhere.
It's fucking
I'm
cool.
sure a lot of small towns do that.
In Northern California, yeah, here we do the Amish Trail of quilts or whatever on the barns,
everybody's got a quilt on their barn.
Made out of tile. In North Carolina, your CCW permit is attached to your driver's license. That's how it is here in Tennessee.
Do you know the Jack story?
Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't.
You want to say that on the?
Yeah, Mom might find out. It's very easy for North Carolina law enforcement to find out you have a CCW permit. I think that's the case here in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's my. Once again, that's my thing is. When I say anything about CCWs, I don't want to give a law enforcement officer who's pulling me over because I did some dumb shit like not signal or I'm driving too fast to feel like that I'm trying to hide that fact from him. So that's why I hand my shit. It goes with the driver's license. A lot of them will just be like, "Why the fuck did you give me that?" Whatever. But either way, it's not like I'm trying to hide it from them. I'm not like, oh, look at me, I'm fucking hiding this gun from you. Because that just gives them a reason to want to search your car.
Hey, have you ever had a customer off the street, not in the military or industry, have an idea that you've implemented or have said, shit, why not? I'm sure we have. Nothing comes to mind. I'm sure we have. So I get once a week, hey, do you take ideas from other people? If you have an idea that you want us to hear, just tell us the fucking idea. If you want us to sign an NDA, that's never going to fucking happen. No. All these dudes running around with their NDA shit. When you come out with a product that we're not involved in, if we wanted to do something like that, we would just make it better. Because I guarantee whoever you have make it, there's always room for improvement. Even if we build it, there's fucking dudes out there that change it around. And sometimes it's better. And if they fucking make something like ours and change it, we'll just make ours just like, I mean, if you have an idea, fucking spit it out. Not this guy. But like, if you send me an email going, hey, do you take ideas from customers? You're never going to fucking hear back from me. If you want to have some dialogue, throw that bait out. And if we're interested, we'll bite and, go from there and see what it is.
Here's the biggest problem with that. Here's the biggest problem with
we
that.
We have fucking hundreds of pieces.
He is you're not going to like this.
Go ahead.
He's a nylon nerd. Like, John, and this is not even now. Like, now he's a little more, well, no, because we've done a bunch of shit like this. But John will be like, I'm going to make this bag that's going to hold this thing, and I'm going to make this bag. So he'll be like, he'll make a bag that holds coffee filters. And when he gets it done, he'll be like, I don't know why I made this coffee filter bag. And it just goes over here. It goes over here in this pile. We have, I don't know, how many 20? SKUs do you think we have?
Oh, we have 14,000 just
14,000 SKUs. John is just like, for those of you who don't know, Prince. John is just like Prince.
I like Howard Hughes better.
Well, Howard Hughes, I mean, you're not Howard Hughes yet. You're not building airplanes. But when I say like Prince is...
But we're going to go get that paramotor.
Are we?
It's $2,000. Like, We could crash it for $2,000 and not even put the fire out. Just walk away from it.
And when I say like Prince is, when by the time Prince was 21, if he never wanted to write music again, he did not have to. Most of the music that there is a ton of music out there that other artists sing that are really Prince songs because he had so much music that was already done.
Like
it's
Tupac.
the same thing. Yeah, like Tupac. It's the same thing with this guy and Nylon. I'll bet you if you have an idea for a bag, it's sitting out in the garage and it's got fucking dust all over because he already made it 10 years ago. He's just got, there's just all these ideas.
We have a building full of it now that I think about it.
And even, here's the thing that's weird, is even if it's a bag for something that didn't exist 10 years ago, like if you've got, let's say you've got that fucking, let's say you've got that 81 millimeter shoulder fired, you got that 81 millimeter shoulder fired rifle that NASA had engineers make. All he has to do is look at it, and then he's going to go, oh, wait a minute, that's just this bag with the extra piece down here. Yeah, we make that bag. So chances are, if you throw something, go ahead and just go ahead and start throwing some shit at John. I'll bet you money he's going to send pictures back of the bag already built in fucking in chocolate chip material.
Fuck, I wish we could get some chocolate chips. John, still catching up on episode 44. I have the same issue. You've seen my shit at 3:30. No matter if I go to bed at 2100, 0100, 3:30, I'm up. I stopped fighting it. For the first couple of weeks, I did the nap thing. Then I just didn't have time to take a nap. And it was only about a week before my body got used to rolling from 3:30 till 11 or 12. That's kind of where I'm at, man. 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, I automatically wake up. It doesn't matter if I went to bed at 11. It doesn't matter if I went to bed at fucking 2 in the morning. 3:30, 4 o'clock, I'm up. So I think that's kind of what I'm looking for, something like that'll just, I need to be able to go to sleep when I go, okay, I need to go to sleep. When I lay down, turn the lights off, I need to be asleep in 5 minutes, not 30 or 45 minutes later. I need something I can take that, boom, you're asleep. And then at 3:30, 4 o'clock, I wake up, I just get up, and then maybe sometime during the day I'll take a nap.
I got the solution.
GHB.
No, I got the solution. Let's get you a Suburban seat. We'll get you a Suburban seat that has some sort of like movement on it, right? That just moves
because
a little
as soon as I get in the
yes, we'll just get you a Suburban seat that has a little bit of movement, and then as soon as you fall asleep, it's got a remote control that just slowly lowers you down into the prone position so you can go to sleep. I think that's the money. Or
tell him why you're saying that.
Because every time he gets in the car, he falls asleep. You see the funny.
If I'm passenger.
The funniest thing is when he's got his hand on the computer, because he'll be typing. You'll just be, I'm sitting in the back and I can see it. He's typing and answering questions and shit because he's always working. But then sometimes he'll be looking straight ahead. His head will be up. I can't tell if his eyes are closed. I'm sure they're closed. But you'll see the screen just going flying up past everything because he's got his finger on it and shit.
Oh shit. Staff Sergeant Terry's stories may be more entertaining than Sergeant Major Booker's stories.
I don't know, Sergeant Major Booker. I still got some Sergeant Major Booker stories. That man is an animal.
Sorry, I must reference my comments, but yes, beavers as in vagina, or fannies as they say in the UK. You call pussies fannies? Fannies your butt here in the United States.
Yeah, it is. Whatever happened to that beaver you had?
Which one?
That huge beaver that kid brought in for you that you wore as a necklace?
The dead one? So I wanted it skeleton, so I put it in the fire ant hill, and in a couple days they ate it all. The bone and everything. Like, it was all gone. I thought they were just going to eat the flesh off. Yep. That's not how fire ants work.
No, they ate the whole thing?
They ate the whole fucking thing. It was gone.
I saw a thing about, not wilderness survival, but the old trappers, and they would talk about eating beaver tail.
Yeah.
And how you had to prepare beaver tail.
Possum would know how.
Yeah, she knows how. Hell yeah, she makes some flapjacks out of beaver tail.
Yeah, we got those strip clubs, the Clown's Den, just across the Wyoming River and Wyoming-Colorado border. Closest thing resembling civilization is the lonesome truck stop at 30 miles away.
That's crazy.
Michigan Gun Buck said blackface ?
I don't know.
You want to know what it is, or what are you asking?
Blackface is when you take a black substance and you put it all over your face and you pretend to be black. Al Jones was really famous for that.
Mime should be illegal then.
Whiteface?
Yeah, whiteface.
Have you ever white-faced?
White-faced. John and Skully, have you seen the mimes at fucking in Las Vegas in the hotels and shit? They pose as statues.
Oh, where they're just whatever color?
Holy shit, they're good, man. They're painted like rock, like stone. John and Skully, great channel with an immense amount of potential. You've got a following that is I'm waiting for the butt. It sounds like there's a butt in here. You've got a following that is rapidly growing out here in the land with you both, that you both left. Improve. The sound quality, fuck off. Here it comes. The sound quality of your podcast needs some work. When I'm driving, I like to listen to the wisdom of a former fearless leader, but when he starts ranting about Steven Seagal, it pierces the already shitty 6x9s. See, that's your problem.
6x9?
6x9s. You just gotta step into the modern world.
That's totally 1980 6x9s.
I got 6x9s in. I think that Suburban out there has a really
totally
fucking expensive sound system in it. Wind rattled Jeep. I'm trying to get down to the 62 on my way from 29 Palms to Hemet.
Shit.
Microphones or something. Sustain. Keep
Wait,
answering.
who is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Who is this?
That's what I'm saying.
I know who this is.
Your followers, subscribers are growing by the masses because you offer something the other conservative podcasts don't. A voice for the people by like-minded people. John, I commend you for finding a venue to get that bearded dinosaur to open up. Who is it?
You go ahead and finish it. Go ahead and finish it.
I long for the days to hear him, and now you two, to part wisdom on those still listening. When Skully would address Raven Strider, we would all shut the... Who the fuck is Raven?
It's a sniper platoon.
Raven was Strider their fucking...
Well, okay, so initially... So the platoon that I had, the sniper platoon that I had that I took over there was Raven. That was their call sign. So you had Raven 1, 2, 3, 4. But there was, when we went the second time, there was a special forces unit in country that already was using Raven. So I convinced them to change it to Strider. We did change it to Strider, and so Strider had a sniper platoon, and we had our own AOR, which is pretty unheard of. So there is actually a Strider AOR in Iraq. So that's what he's talking about. It's a sniper platoon.
Yeah, did this man ever shit in your backpack? Did you ever hold a bag while he took a shit?
No, he never shit in my backpack.
I wonder if he heard that episode.
I don't believe he ever shit in the backpack, but there might have been some pee drinking. Jay, I don't know. Did you go? I don't know if you went south with Campbell, so that would have been pee drinking time.
When Skully would address Raven Strider, we would all shut the fuck up and listen. That man has more wisdom than most commanders and senior enlisted that are still serving. Hopefully, I still get your podcast after I DFL here shortly. If not, I'll play episode 1 through 55 on repeat and launch an even longer critique when I RTB. Prepare to march P2M. Read. Oh, I didn't fucking expand it. There's more there that
there was more that we didn't get, Jay. Hey, this is what John would really like for you to do. When you get to your location that you're going to, that special place you're going to, I hear that there's a lot of ancient antiquities. Bring something back. A little, vase or a mummy, or just bring some of those antiquities back.
Or let us know where you're at. Maybe we'll come down there. Build your own belt kit. Laugh out loud. Porn star Elsa is Elsa Jean. The build your own belt kit would be fucking great. If anybody knows Elsa and she wants to be on our podcast, just have her come down.
Have her come.
Rob Friedmore. Here, Pierre would want to be on that episode.
Oh, of course he would. Of course he would.
Here are some interesting facts on the Civil War. 1. The first legal slave owner in American history was a black man named Anthony Johnson. 2. South Carolina's largest slave owner in 1860 was a black man named William Ellison. 3. 1830, there were 3,775 free black people that owned 12,740 slaves. 4. Before and during the Civil War, there were more free blacks in the South than in the North.
The greatest thing, here's the thing that most people don't understand is the greatest thing to happen in the South for poor white people was abolishing slavery. Because if you were poor white in the South, you couldn't get a job because slaves were doing all the jobs.
Police should assume we are always armed. Why should we have to inform police officers we are exercising our constitutional protected right to bear arms? How can we mount a war against tyranny if those same people we have to fight have a map to all the weapons and can demand we tell them where we are when we are armed?
Okay, well, first off,
they're not demanding.
First off, you're doing it for peace of mind for that officer because it's a highly stressful job. That's what I'm talking about. He's just a regular person just like you that is fucking constantly stressed out by fucking crackheads and dirtbags. So that's all you're doing is you're giving him a little bit of peace of mind. Second, a roadmap to everybody's guns. They already have a fucking roadmap to the places that they're going to go to get your guns. Unfortunately, for the people who are going to get their guns, they can't do everybody at once. So, what is the chance that you are going to be number 1 or number 2? And the next question is, when are you going to stand up against tyranny? Everybody always talks about hero shit until you have to do hero shit. When are you going to stand up against tyranny? They are confiscating guns in the state of California right now. When are you going to stand up against tyranny? You have known communists that currently are in our House of Representatives. When are you going to stand up against tyranny? I'm not calling for arms. I'm just saying that people talk a lot of shit about doing hero shit until you have to do hero shit. Until you have fucking picked up a gun and went over to Afghanistan or Iraq or done any of that bullshit, you're just run along. You're not helping with the conversation at all. It's kind of like, I get really mad when fucking concealed guys talk about open carry guys. At least they're doing something. They're doing something. They are on the same team as all of us. All of us. And as a matter of fact, the reality is the guy who open carries may be at a higher level than us because he's willing to put that out there that I'm carrying a fucking firearm. What are you going to do about it?
I wouldn't say necessarily higher level of training. I would say
higher
level of
I'm not going to say anything about training. Maybe a higher level of commitment, but that's all it's about is commitment. 3% of Americans fought against the British. That's it. 3%. The rest of the 13 colonies wanted to stay loyal to the British. So think about that when you're talking about tyranny.
And while we're on the subject of like the open carry guys, while we're shit talking these guys, I as much as the next guy and the guy before me, I love seeing those photos of the dude that's fucking so fucked up that he's got his pistol pointing up towards his neck and shit. I get in, I don't comment on it, but I read it and it entertains, right? But while we're talking shit about those guys, fuck, do me a favor. Do me a favor. If you're around where there's a bunch of goobers,
educate them.
Fuck yeah, if you're going to your local gun shows all the time, gun shops, ranges, whatever, fucking, I'll send you a bunch of business cards and stickers. When you see those guys, just go, hey man, check this guy's gear out. You don't have to tell him he's fucked up. Just fucking recommend, hey man, hey, I got some training here. I go to these classes. Maybe you're interested, man. You don't got to go have fucking dinner with him. You don't got to swap wives with him. Just fucking give him a fucking SOE business card. Fucking send some business our way. Fucking we'll sell him a belt. It doesn't matter to me. My belt will work whether you carry your gun pointed up or down.
When you are standing shoulder to shoulder with your musket pointing downrange to fight tyranny, you're not going to be concerned. You're not going to be too overly concerned about what this guy next to you is going to be doing, except the fact that he's there.
When's the next SOE Strider coming? Fuck, any day.
Holy shit!
What?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. I've got thousands in SOE, but haven't dipped my toes in. We've got a Strider coming. It's the big one. The big
MF,
one.
the MF. No, it's the.
It's not the MF.
It's not the MFS.
Folder.
It's the
one above it. XL.
It's the XL. Yeah, SMF XL.
It's gonna be badass. They're on the way. I've got thousands in SOE, but haven't dipped my toes into a Strider yet, and would love an SOE Strider to pop that cherry. I want the black and red that cocksuckers keep calling Deadpool. Oh, and I'll be there in a few weeks for TAC response. Should I bring pies? Brandon Peak, fucking always bring
chocolate cream pie.
Pie's always the answer. I got a fucking cherry pie and a carrot cake in the microwave right now.
Poor people food.
Poor people, peasants.
Peasants.
Hey, you want to? I shouldn't even tell them. No, I can't tell them, because if I tell them what it is, they'll go spend some money that SOE won't get. We just won't tell them what it is, but we'll tell them about it. There's a food service. It has a name, and you get on this website, and it is famous places around the United States. Famous for, like, beignet balls, fucking lobster rolls, world famous banana pudding. So I'm a banana pudding guy.
John's banana pudding guy.
So for $85, you get 2 4.5-pound tubs of banana pudding from this. They have 5 or 6 different restaurants, but the one I picked, they make it that morning, Monday morning, and they FedEx it. So they make it Monday.
Did you get some?
No, I haven't ordered it. So noon they ship it. It shows up here 9 o'clock the next morning. Fucking 9 pounds of banana pudding. But they got cinnamon rolls, like whatever you're into. Gold foil, quail breast smoked with, infused with whatever it is. If it's a famous fucking food place, they fucking send that shit to you.
It would be awesome to do a video of us robbing the UPS truck of the gold foil quail.
There's a dish. It's like, dude, it's like $5,000. It's this poached egg. It's a poached, I think it's rotten. It's a poached rotten egg. They put it in a smoke chamber. They put some caviar, like 5 pieces of caviar that cost like $85 for those three little eggs.
Straight from Russia.
When I showed it to Chef, he's like, oh, he brought his smoke chamber in the next day. He's like, I'll have that for you tomorrow morning.
I can make all that. There's a dessert too. There's like a chocolate, isn't there? It's like a chocolate cake or something like that they put gold on.
Yeah.
So you can shit gold.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Oh man.
I think Jägermeister. There's some booze that has gold in it too. It's just called it's food gold.
Yeah.
We've had it a few times, like at Nobu and shit. Skully, that Staff Sergeant Terry was fucking gold, man. I needed those laughs. I was tearing up, laughing so hard. Keep it up, guys. Love the podcast.
Sergeant Major Terry, he's fucking awesome. Retired.
Hey, Brandon Peak, about the Strider thing. We've got a Strider coming. We got a big one coming out.
Do we have any of the black and red ones
left? I have a black and red one for sale.
Oh.
Well, I got it back. Somebody was parting with it. I got it back.
But we don't have any of those originals.
Those sold out. Those sold out in, well, the first day I put 1 up when I put 2 up when I went 3 up. When I went into we pulled into Jackson, we were going to eat. Pulled into the Starbucks. I put 3 online. Walked in. Amanda and I got coffee. Walked right back out to the car, and I hit refresh, and they were gone. I'm like, oh, I didn't put these up or whatever. Nope, they sold. So I'm like, fuck, okay. So the next time, the price just kept going up. So the first 3 guys that got theirs, like 2 days after we shipped them, right? Dude gets one. He puts it on eBay for $2,200. And Amanda's like, that motherfucker. He paid part on, fucking, it was a mess, man. He paid part with a gift card, part with a credit card, she had to like talk to this dude 2-3 times. He fucked his address up, did all this shit, right? She's like, that motherfucker. I had to deal with him like 10 times. He bought the knife for $600, sold it for $2,200, buy it now on eBay. And she's pissed. I go, don't be mad. She's like, what do you mean? I go, that means all those knives are worth $2,200 now.
You just set the secondary market, man.
So I have a black and red one available. It's expensive.
And it's rare. Here's the thing. If you're, especially if you're a Strider knife collector guy, the numbers are so small in the first place. Plus, that I will say that fucking knife will never be made again. Just will never be made again because of all the drama that went into getting the paint right, getting the fucking
We have a
the
custom
SOE in
paint
there.
mix.
Yeah, fucking it won't. You'll never see that fucking knife again, especially since I'm not there anymore.
I just want to say thank you to John and Skully for being not only entertaining and informative, but also motivating. I found your podcast 3 weeks ago. My life wasn't going the way I thought it should, and I was doing a whole lot of being lazy and feeling sorry for myself. My business wasn't doing well, and the more I listened, the more I realized that the majority of my problem was me not getting up and doing what I needed to do. I decided to take as much of your advice and apply it to my situation. Since then, my business has done more in the last 3 weeks than I did the last half of 2018. When I started to get tired of something didn't go right, I would stop and think about the 3 words you say so often: failure to execute. And I would push through it and plan to continue to push through. Thank you guys, seriously. And since I found the motivation to change my situation through all of the things you guys have said, I decided to do a little bit of celebrating or endorphin release and buy some SOE gear. My first order, but definitely not my last order. And again, thank you. I can't say enough. Let me tell you, who is this? EDC Decker. I wish you'd have said what your business is. Don't buy any more SOE gear. Like, wait. If you're running a business that's not running right, you are going to need cash availability, cash flow, cash velocity. Save your money, man. I tell guys this all the fucking time. I tell people close to me, and dumbasses do not fucking listen to me. It is insane. Don't buy any more SOE gear for a while. Like, put your money only into shit that is going to make you money right now. You need to listen to a book. There's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It is on well, I'm sure it's on iTunes, but it's on YouTube. It's 8 hours long. Just play it. It's audio. It's parables set in the time of, the Bible, pre-Bible Babylon. But it's very fucking good, man. It really, really does apply. It's a book that every kid should read. That's what they should be fucking making them read in elementary school.
You said Bible times. They won't know Bibles.
But it's about the, traders, and when the towns, they'd close them down. And it's about this dude, like one of the stories is, this guy was coming home from trading spices or something, got locked out of the city. And there's another dude in the dark that has all these cows or goats or something, and he has like 500 head. He's like, my wife is sick. I need to get home to my wife. I'll take, half price. And he failure to execute, didn't execute. And he fell asleep. By the time he woke up, the gates had opened, and the dude was able to sell him at full price, and this dude missed the opportunity. Is really what the part of the story was about. Richest Man in Babylon. Do yourself a favor. Listen to it, man. And just play it while you're doing other shit. While you're, whatever it is you're doing, just listen to it. And when you get tired of it, turn it off. Listen to a little section each day. And then go back and listen to it again. Because what you'll find with stuff like that, when you listen to these guys or these stories or whatever it is, once you have it in your head and you're kind of telling somebody about it, the next time you listen to it, you'll catch another piece, or you have evolved, and it will now mean something different to you. And what I take from it will be different from what Jeff takes from it. And if you execute and you start doing those things, and basically 10% of everything you make is yours to keep, is what he's talking about. And that is having that money. And then you just sock that money away, and you sock that money away, and you sock that money away, and you sock that, and when an opportunity presents itself, you will be able to, jump on that opportunity. And what he talks about is, so this old man told this kid this, and he comes back a year later, and he's like, so how much have you saved? What have you done? And he's like, oh, I bought, one of the spice traders was going somewhere, and I bought a bunch of rare stones. And his thing was never seek advice from a man. Basically, you should have been dealing with a stone broker, not a fucking
spice trader.
Not a spice trader. Yeah. And then another thing, send me an email or a private message, whoever you are, and I will send you a link to something. It's about a 20-minute video, and it will fucking change your life as long as you're not a lazy piece of shit.
Also, the point of that whole Babylon story, the major takeaway is don't wear red shirts. Just remember, Don't wear red shirts. Okay,
That's not that story.
That's what I got out of that story the most. Is just don't wear red shirts.
That's not that story.
And also, you're the only one that can fix your problems. You're going to be happier if you do fix your own problems than trying to rely on other people to fix your problems. So, you know, especially running a small business, running your own business, just keep in there, hang in there, keep pushing forward, and, you know, as you focus on the problems, it should become clear what you got to do to fix them. We 9 times out of 10, we know what we need to do to fix the problem. It's just easier to avoid the problem. So just keep in there.
And losing momentum. Like if you have a side job, side hustle, hobby, second business, second job, third job, whatever it is, right? Whatever your primary job is during the day. You go to work, and while you're at work, you're thinking about doing your other job. And when I get off here, I'm going to, you know, go to the gym, or I'm going to go do this. As soon as you get home, it's all over with. Like, as soon as you get home and you sit, you'll hear Andy Frisella say that a lot. He's like, when I get home, I don't even go inside. I literally go inside, change my shoes. I do not sit down. I don't get anything to eat. And I go walk, or I go jog, or whatever it is. He goes, because the second my ass hits the chair, it's fucking all over with. I got a friend, and he's like, you know, I know what to do. I tell myself I'm going to do it, but as soon as I get home, it's all over with. Like, I just never do it once I'm home. I go, well, there's the problem. You got to not go home. He's like, what do you mean? I go, fucking, when you leave work, go to the fucking gym, and because you worked out, that's your reward, and now you get to eat. Don't go fucking home. That's the, I don't know any other solution.
No, that's 100%. That's just 100% true, especially if you're, you know, if you're working a full day and then you got to drive home. The minute I start my truck and start driving down that road, I've got a 45-minute drive, so it gives me a lot of decompression time. So I'm like, by the time I get home, John, I will literally be walking out the door, and John will be like, "Hey, bring the such and such," and I'll be like, "Got it. I'm gonna bring it." It's before I hit New Johnsonville, I have already completely forgotten
5 minutes away.
Just completely forgotten it, and I'm fucking just moving. And it's true. It's a lot of times I will leave here and I'll go, okay, there's that one thing at the house that I have to do. I got to do this one thing. And by the time I get there and sit down, it'll be like, that's it. I'm not even going to do it. I did get the fucking other half shaft out of the mini truck, so I got both half shafts out. There's a Honda place in Dixon. I was going to take it there and see if they could rebuild it.
You should totally be able to work on our LMTV now. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Just bigger.
I would love to work on our LMTV.
The tire could kill you.
Yeah.
Just the spare tire could kill you on an LM. Like, I was thinking about, I actually literally, when I was sitting on the toilet, and I'm looking at that fucking, Jeff wants this diesel Unimog tractor. Most Unimogs that come in the United States are 2.3 gas engines. Because these were used by the Marine Corps, they're diesel. They have a backhoe, a fucking bucket. I mean, they have everything. It's a tractor on the front. It's a tractor on the back. It's got outriggers. It's like this crazy, like that tractor transformer military truck. They used them to make runways. They'd go in, knock fucking forest down, pave, grade, literally make a place where aircraft could land. You can buy these things. They're out there. They're fucking $15,000 to $20,000. Yep. I literally pictured in my head, hey, John, I'm going to use the tractor this weekend. No problem, Skully. Take the tractor home. And then you'll come in Monday, and I'm like, did you get that thing built? Did you build your runway? Nope. I got up the hill. The truck got stuck, and I spent all weekend trying to unstick the truck. Because those trucks are so big, we don't have another truck. It takes a bigger truck to unstick the little
truck, yeah.
Like, when you start fucking with equipment like that, You're not pulling that bitch out with your Ford Chevy Dodge truck.
Though I did see a video of a Unimog that was stuck. So it got frame up stuck, and the dude just jumped out, got on the fucking tractor, and used the fucking tractor to just lift himself.
Unless it was a Chevy K5 Blazer.
Yeah. Well, of course, you just pour beer over your head and fucking just hit the. Fucking flies right out of there.
The jerk-off governor of New Jersey submitted his proposed budget. He wants to increase the cost of handgun permits from $2 to $50. That's just for a permit that we shouldn't even need anyways. not to mention paying the state troopers for a mental health check, then the NICS check. All part of the plan to keep the working man out of the firearms game. Of course, he also proposed higher taxes for ammo and firearms too. Bullshit.
He got voted into office. You can vote him out of office. The one reason why Democrats were so afraid to do anything under President Obama when they controlled everything is because the last time they did any real gun legislation, they all got fucking hammered. They got voted right out of office. You want to improve your situation? Get out the vote. Get fucking like-minded people and make sure they go vote. Because I guarantee you,
Those are the ones you can change.
You know plenty of people that did not vote for you, that did not vote in the governor election. Get those motherfuckers to the polls. Punish them. Make them feel the pain of what they're doing. And I guarantee you, the next guy that gets in there is going to be like, yeah, I'm not even touching that with a 10-foot pole. It's the same thing that the Democrats are doing right now. They're pushing all this shit forward in the House. They're just throwing it all out there, like assault weapons ban and all this stupid shit. The only reason why they're doing it is because they know that the Senate will be like, yeah, fuck you, we're not pushing it through. That's the only reason. If in fact they control both chambers of the if they control both chambers, I'll bet you probably see like a universal background check. Maybe that would get passed. But all this other shit, they're not going to touch it because the last time that happened, they got fucking annihilated. That's what you need to do. Get out and fucking vote. Get all your like-minded peers out there and vote and fucking annihilate these people for what they're doing.
You want to change some shit? Start at home. Your local government, you can affect that. You can walk in and tell them, man, if you do this, I'm going to make sure you're not reelected. And you actually can sway that. Like, through your footwork and your effort, you can affect whether he can fucking be there or not. So local, your town, then your city, then your county, and then your state. Like, you can actually fucking affect that shit.
Because the interesting thing about guns... The interesting thing about guns is I will tell you this. If all the Democrats vote and all the Republicans vote, we lose every time because there's not enough registered Republicans to outvote Democrats. But the beautiful thing about guns is it's not universal that way. While the Democrats are the ones that are pushing gun legislation, there are tons and tons of Democrats who own firearms for the same reason you own a firearm. And they will vote against firearm legislation.
Because of Bigfoot?
Bigfoot. Everybody knows it's because of Bigfoot.
Will you kill that thing?
I can't.
Every fucking bug.
It's just one fucker in here.
Chef should have made y'all some popsicle meals before he left. Cook a bunch of meals, freeze them, and then you just pull out a popsicle meal and heat it up. It may not be the freshest, but it's still a chef meal.
Yeah, man, he should have, but he didn't.
We should have just ate MREs.
That'd make for good video.
Skully and I like MREs. Skully and John, what's your thoughts on 2012 Benghazi attack?
What do you mean? I don't know. Do you want to know what really happened?
They left him to die.
You want to know what really happened? The Obama administration
Hillary stayed in bed.
The Obama administration was secretly moving weapons out of out of Libya into Syria. So the Obama administration was purchasing firearms and sending them to Syria. Local warlords found out about this shenanigan and went to war with our embassy. That's what happened. Some dudes that were over there specifically for the weapons transfer went to the rescue of the people at the embassy and got killed. That's what happened. Because Obama was doing something that is technically illegal, they had to not support it in any way. There's actually an admiral and a fucking 4-star general that were relieved of their command because they were going to send forces in support of the people in Benghazi. No time, I want you to think about this, no time in our history has an ambassador been killed and we have not fucking gone and wiped those people from the face of the planet. The Obama administration did everything they could to cover that whole fucking fiasco up because they were doing something that is technically illegal. We ruined that country. We ruined that country. That country is fucking ruined. It is the slave trade capital of the world now. Thank you, Obama.
I'm so glad the Diet Pepsi has aspartame in it again.
Fucking...
It was terrible when it was aspartame free for a couple of years.
I don't believe that. Of course, I am 90% Diet Pepsi, so I might have had so much aspartame built up in my system that I didn't even notice the difference.
When you pee, does dust come out?
No.
Do you get kidney stones
The best water in the world is coming from the Pepsi Corporation. They triple filter that shit.
Eyes Wide Shut, great movie. When it comes to whole abortion after birth murder, when as a society do we decide, fuck it, morality is lost and 100% quit following unjust laws and have total civil disobedience? I'm the furthest from religious, but I think we can all agree murder is one of the worst crimes a human can commit. If that's now okay, why follow the laws that have no moral value? FEMA camps, you said something about the railroad tracks in them. Have you ever noticed that every prison seems to have railroad super close by? Do you think there is a reason for this? As for Sergeant Major Terry, I'm from Tennessee, and we call that retard strength. That someone is abnormally strong.
I mean, there's a logical reason. I will tell you this: there is a logical reason for FEMA camps, and then there's a conspiracy reason for FEMA camps. The issue is the infrastructure is set up, and like most things, that infrastructure can be used for good, or it can be used for bad. I don't know about like prisons. Outside the fact that you could move prisoners wherever you want, the camps are real. The FEMA camps are real. They're set up for a specific purpose because, for example, if the Chinese release the human version of bird flu and millions of people get bird flu, you're going to want them quarantined. You will have no problem if you do not have fucking bird flu. You will have no problem with them rounding up everybody with bird flu and putting them in a FEMA camp until they can figure out how to fix it. So that's the non-conspiracy thing. Conspiracy-wise, like I said, they can use those for anything they want because they're already there. So you just be weird. Just be weary when they start. Just be weary when you look at the FEMA camps and you start seeing lots of chimneys.
Also, like the railway, maybe it's for incoming supplies, but also if you are running camps like that, you're probably going to be manufacturing something, so you need to move that product. You basically have slave labor, which we've seen happen. I mean, a bunch of homeless people went missing, and they showed up in some of these camps. I mean, there's something to some of that. There's a bunch of things like Walmart, right? Walmart infrastructure, abandoned Walmarts set up as camps and stuff. But they can be set up to manufacture. You could use them for manufacturing. You could move them. You could use them for a lot of different things. None of it's in yours or my best interest, but the government and the military as a whole could definitely, do that. And they're set up strategically. Everywhere has those places. Yep. It's a layover. It's a warehousing. It can be manufacturing. It can be fucking storage. It can be anything really. But it's there, and they're definitely fucking fortifying it for something. I mean, just look at it.
Look at Walmart. If you want to see something interesting, look at the Family Corporation headquarters.
Most fortified building in the United States.
It makes the fucking Pentagon look like like it was made out of straw and shit.
Yeah, no airplane's gonna be crashing in that motherfucker.
No.
Or rockets.
Or rockets.
All right, that's the last of it right there.
That's it.
We still got some shit to do. This one went over.
What do we do? An hour?
Over an hour.
Over an hour?
Yep.
All right.
Maybe
thanks for your
Chef's still here.
comments.
I got some giant jumbo shrimp out here to eat.
Oh shit! Eat those jumbos. All the radiated Fukushima shrimp.